Okay, we're slowly gonna get settled in here for a little productivity work session. Okay, hi guys. We're just getting settled in here. I know a couple people from my Patreon. We're gonna try to tune in. We're doing like 15-minute spurts of a productivity session. So if you guys also work from home like I do and or are self-employed or have something that you wanna get done, if you're in a different corner of the world, you can go ahead and get that going. I haven't done one of these in a minute, but it's finally the fall getting colder in my corner of the world. I usually don't do these too much in the summer, but that way we can be productive together, especially when it's cold and I don't want to go anywhere during the week out and about, because before we know it, it's nighttime again. For those of you that may be new here, I do the astrology do's and don'ts of the week ahead, just to kind of prepare as like an anchor point. So I'm actually inputting all of my charts for November right now. Hello, hello, welcome. Okay. Okay. We should be good to go again. Did a little glitch. Yeah, okay, cool. Welcome back. Okay. Hi, Darian. How are you? I know, me too. It's so good to see you again. I was thinking of you. I was like, I'm so excited. This probably means that Darian and I will align. Now that it's like fall and winter, I think I'm finding my like gate 5 flow with when I like do these during the week, especially now that our celebrations are through. I'm like not doing things, during the day that are like me running around all over the place. Although I would love to be able to do like a bring me along, like when I'm running and doing errands and stuff, but I know myself and I would probably just look like an insane person dropping my phone and everything. But it's nice to see you again. I hope your workouts have been going good. I hope everything's been going good. I know you've been such a sweet and fierce advocate of all things good in the world, or creating more good in the world. So that doesn't come lightly, but I'm glad you're able to take some time for yourself. I'm just putting all my charts in for the month of November, as I started doing the astrology of the week ahead. So yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I feel that. I've just felt like just the love from everybody has meant so much to me, and like it's honestly overwhelming in like the best way, what do I like to do in my free time? Well, I've been reading a lot actually and listening to audiobooks. I do like planning like little wellness events as well. I do like, since I'm self-employed, a lot of what I do for work also takes up my free time, but it's stuff that I like to do. So I'm thankful for that. But I also do like to walk a lot too, now that it's like really pretty in fall outside as well. But yeah, that's been pretty much it. I'm a pretty simple person, and I think all of us can appreciate enjoying the simple pleasures right now as well. How about for you? Yeah. Thank you for your kind words. Of course, I know fighting the good fight, absolutely true man, Jen Fashion. I love that. Yes, I'm glad you're doing well. Yeah, I have nothing to do. I'm just bored. I understand. Well, I'm glad you're here with us, Sue. Feel free to just enjoy the lo-fi music and hang out. I started doing these in like May actually, which is crazy to think like I haven't even been doing any like streaming for an entire year yet on YouTube, which is kind of crazy, but it's a good routine for me to get back into because it also helps me to stay productive. I've been missing like having a hobby, actually, like another hobby that's something that's like outside of my routine. So that's why I also started getting back into reading again, and also like because I'm such like I'm in like the personal development, wellness, astrology, psychic, like all the spiritual, you know, worlds if you will, in multiple different ways. Like reading books that are fiction also is important because I'm like I need time to still be like creative and having downtime. And I think that it's funny because I saw a couple pieces of content about this today on my For You page, which is funny because like it reads our minds. But all that to say that we hit a wall sometimes with information overload where we just need to like be in a place of being able to take a second and digest. And I was saying that, I think I said that for my short today or tomorrow, I can't remember now. Oh, it was for today or yesterday actually. And just being able to digest the information that we've like consumed or learned up until this point, especially if you're like me and you're in the northern hemisphere of the world. It's fall or autumn, and going into winter, so it's like less about like having to go and hustle, and more about just like maintaining the flow and being able to be a little bit more introverted, which could be hard as well, you know. Hi Nitu, welcome. I'm good, how are you? Welcome. We're doing a little co-working session. I'm chatting in between getting some of my work done on my computer. And I like to do these sessions because it helps us to all be productive. It helps me to be productive when I know that I'm helping other people be productive too. Like we're in this together. I miss the days of like being in school when I could go to the library also. Especially this time of year. It's like so like quintessential like back to school time. Yeah, aw, thank you so much. Thank you. Exactly, being in the real world almost startled me. I know. And I was saying, oh, I need to touch grass. I know. I need to tell myself that too, because I'm like, it was actually really heartwarming, like even this weekend, just being around like all of our family and, you know, like just seeing like the world is so layered and so complex, and there's so many different communities that are in different areas of the world. And my husband, you know, is Cuban, and so it's like those conversations are also happening in our home with like, you know, what you're experiencing out in the real world too. And just like some of our friends that, you know, were assisting in some way, shape, or form. Because it hits kind of close to home, as I know, Darian, you can read between the lines, as well. Like I'm cautious of what I say with also having a platform, which is like a weird like in between place to be, you know, of like, oh, this is like having to like dot your I's and cross your T's and being aware of what we say like on the internet, just because of like we don't know who's listening when, and you know, being open enough but not like letting the guard down too in a dangerous way, you know. But the painting behind me is actually called The Birth of Venus. It's a fresco by this Italian Renaissance painter named Botticelli. I actually saw it when I was in Paris, like over 10 years ago now, which is crazy, at the Louvre, which just had like that crazy like heist that happened. Yeah, Darian. Oh yeah, of course. I feel like it's always important, like, to, like, I don't know how to say it. For really words, I'm like trying to translate the painting in my head at the same time. But with the painting, it's basically like the sense of renewal and spring. So this and like celebrating femininity. So I always liked it when I was in school. I studied art history in college. So like just a sense of renewal and celebration of femininity. But it's one of my favorites, if you couldn't tell. Yeah. Yes, it is for the Libra new moon. I know. I'm doing a little Patreon new moon circle today, and it was nice to put together. Our new moon in Libra happened at 8:25 Eastern Standard Time, 8:24, 8:25 Eastern Standard Time this morning. And it's also opposing a lot of our Chiron, or our Aries Chiron. Neptune has just shifted back retrograde into Pisces, and giving us a sense of like what can we kind of get in order, and how can we create order in the midst of chaos that's happening around us, which is really important. It's so crazy because all the transits that I've been doing from a human design lens, which for those of you who don't know is basically a version of astrology. I say it's as if you took your birth chart and a personality test and like made it into one system. And a lot of the energy right now for this time of year always is about like, what do we need to do for optimal survival? And like in 2025, it's just taken on like such another like layer and like lens of that. But it's interesting to see like how those themes kind of come up around the same time every year, but exceptionally true for this year too. And really being able to like just at the end of the day, like I always say, like nothing that I teach is meant to take the power away from you, but rather like help you to feel empowered to make decisions on your own, you know? Yeah, oh my eyes. Yeah, I have I can't lean too close because I don't want to knock over I'm a little clumsy, but I have like blue I have blue eyes, and then my contacts actually have blue light blockers in them too. So they kind of look green. Yeah, hard-hitting new moon, just strange with Jupiter. I know, in Cancer, absolutely. Yes, 1,000%. And it's in gate 62, which is the gate of details. So it's like knowing as many details as you can, right? But then also like needing the details to have an outlet, and like figuring out like knowing the details honestly so you can be informed about whatever it is that you're doing, which I think is really like so on the nose, as it always is, right? With like, what do we need to be more detailed about? What do we need to understand more? How can we like critically think and ask like certain questions, and like be really big on strategy right now is also like really coming into focus too. Okay, that's all the charts for November. So to share. It's funny, usually when I cross something off my list, I think of something else that I have to do, so I add it on again. And I'll keep flipping this guy over. So you guys can pause and take a break if you need to in the hour. So I'll be on for another like 40 minutes or so. But I'll cross something off, and then I'll realize that there's something else that I want to do again too. Brooks, I unfortunately grew up in with a younger brother, 5 years younger than I, so I do know all of the tricks. I know all of those all of the names. Oh, my pen? I don't even know. When I write again, I'll have to see. Hi, Nicole. I love that. Have so much fun in Tucson. Oh my gosh. I love Arizona. I know we have too. Sorry, Sue. This is the Wild West of the internet. It's so funny because I always say that like I present one way, and when people see me online, like you know, people think that they can kind of like pull a fast one, you know. But I've been on the internet for so long that like I've seen it all. I've seen it all, I've heard it all. Like, nothing can really faze me anymore. In the best way. And I always think, like, it's just funny to think about, like, people laughing alone by themselves doing things like that on the internet. I know. I second that notion. Let me see. Oh, let me do this actually. Sometimes when I'm editing stuff for my videos too, or I like to be able to print things out and read them because the computer can hurt my eyes after a while too. Oh, Mexican food is amazing. Oh my gosh, I know. Oh, my favorite hobby. Oh, my profession. Yeah. Oh, India. Oh, I love that. It's on my list of places to go. I actually had a French teacher that was from India, came to the US to teach, and then went back with her husband after she retired and would send me like postcards, which was really sweet. But what was I say? What's my favorite hobby? I know, I don't even know. I'm like, what is my favorite hobby? I do love walking. I do like being outside any chance that I get. And honestly, like being able to actually like go like to a new little like sweet town and like try something new, like new food, just being in a different environment, new culture. I do love to travel, although like at this phase in my life I haven't been able to travel as much as I can far, but at least like close by. And I do a version of astrology. And I am an intuitive, so like helping people, basically a version of life coaching in a way. But being able to teach people about their human design and astrology. So I'm just editing some of my outlines for videos that I want to make for you guys that follow each of your energy types in human design, because I wanted to do like a little bit of a grounded refresher, 101 refresher before the new year. Okay, so let me do, what else did I want to have? See, I would have tried to cut out after the elliptical, but this helped me do my weights too. Oh, I'm so glad. Yes. Oh, I love that. Oh, sorry, Sue, I didn't see. Yeah, why it's so funny that you asked that because I'm writing my Human Design 101, what it means to be a generator. Are you a generator or a manifesting generator? Hi, Tahini, welcome. Waiting, it's funny because I was talking about this yesterday and how I'm a manifesting generator. So if you're a generator or manifesting generator, perfect. That's so great. Okay, so this video will be coming out within the next couple days or so. So you'll have to keep an eye out for it because it'll help too. I explain that a little bit more in depth, but for your question right now, our strategy, right, as generators or manifesting generators is waiting to respond or to respond. And so when we're in that waiting period, it's an active state of waiting. So, for me, for example, let's say I want to get asked to do a human design TED Talk, right? When I'm waiting for that, that to happen or to be given the opportunity or asked to be able to do the TED Talk on human design, for example, I don't want to just sit and wait for something to happen fully, right? That still means that I can worry about, what are the things that are good for me to worry about, to focus on. Still putting out good content, improving on content that I've already put out before. Making myself known, going to different holistic health fairs to be able to connect with people about the same things that I'm working on. And so just having people or putting yourself, in a position where people still see you working on your own thing, whether or not they've invited you or not to do so, is a way that you can bring in that magnetism of people wanting to connect with you. Even if you're not posting online, like social media and posting online isn't the only way to do that, but when you're healthily self-absorbed in doing whatever it is that you want to do during the day, that's what gets people to see this person knows what they're doing or what they want to be doing, if that's being productive with resting or being involved in editing their video outlines or whatever it is. It's almost like a little bit of the waiting period of an absence makes the heart grow fonder for people to find you, and not being so worried about it. What the issue with why it's so hard to respond or waiting is so hard is because everything else around us now has put us in this position where we're able to order something off of Amazon, and if you live close enough to a warehouse, you can have it in sometimes 12 hours. My in-laws live maybe 20 minutes from an Amazon warehouse, and sometimes they'll get same day delivery if the order is placed that quickly. So we're in this world where we can go online. I can find a recipe for anything. I can hop online here on YouTube Live and connect to somebody from Tokyo or Australia or New Zealand, a totally different area of the world, India, for example. And here it's 2:00 in the afternoon in the East Coast of the US, right? So our world with technology is advancing so quickly that I always say that we're the guinea pig generation, and our nervous systems, our mindset, our human brains are figuring out how do we adapt to knowing that for us as human beings, things still do take a little bit of time, no matter how fast other things happen. And it's really easy for us to, look at how quickly somebody else may have gotten something and be like, oh my gosh, that seemed to happen so quickly for them because, it's the highlight reel, it's the quick share that somebody's sharing in 30 seconds, I've been building my business for 10 years now. I started reading human design charts when I was 22. I'm 31 now. And, it took the last 4 years. I would say it took about 6 years. The last 4 years have really been me being able to do this as my full-time gig. But, it's me sitting in front of you now working in my home on a Tuesday afternoon. In this moment seems like it happened, so quickly. You're like, oh my gosh, how did I missed so much of Brenna's lore. I don't know how that happened. It could put us in that kind of analysis paralysis and comparison trap and feeling waiting seems so hard. But it's really there are those micro moments where every time you feel that pang of impatience or frustration or overwhelm, or overwhelm, in that moment, you're kind of have an opportunity to say, okay, what can I do about this that's going to make me feel better, right? Can I go ahead and say, um, in this moment, I may not have and I'll read your question in a second. I may not have the opportunity to just go into a business and get a job like that on the spot, but maybe I put some outfits together in this moment that I can wear to a job interview. And that's cultivating in that active expectant waiting, so at the moment that you do get that call, because it will happen even though it doesn't feel like it, it's having that faith to say, like, I know that when I do these things, that when I do get the call, it makes it that much easier to jump and say yes and, be ready to do the interview. But I want an opportunity to work a job I specifically want. Meanwhile, I want to earn money too. Should I apply for jobs that are not ultimately what I prefer? Yes. I say, especially now in 2025, it's something like they don't have to know. It's a game, right? It's like, and we're getting into this new gate transit, which is known as the gate of the game player. I have it in my chart, gate 28 in human design. That's Friday, I think it is. I can tell you right now. Saturday the 25th. I'll put that video out, but basically, do you know what your long-term goal is, or what the not so long-term goal is, right? Maybe if there's another job that you can do to bring in money while you're waiting for your actual manifestation to happen, it is good to go ahead and apply. But what's important is that you maintain the mindset that you know what your ultimate specific job and goal is, right? For me, I always knew that I wanted to be self-employed, but I didn't have the skill set to know how to do it sustainably. I didn't grow up in a family that could just give me a small loan and help me out that way, right? So I had to learn those skills on my own, but I didn't want to build my passion project, my side hustle. I wanted to become my main hustle as I was trying to figure out how I was going to pay, my rent for my apartment at the time. And so I got a job in insurance. That's how I ended up meeting my husband. So it's funny because all these things, and getting a job in insurance taught me invaluable skills that, God forbid something happens with my car or anything with insurance, I'm educated enough in that field to know how to handle it. And anything that we do as generators and manifesting generators, even if it's, 50% of the goal, which is getting money, the other 50% is getting money doing what you love to, get that specific job. It's the satisfaction knowing that you're checking something off that list and using your energy wisely and appropriately to work towards what you're going towards. That's important. It's just in those moments, where we naturally get frustrated or get tired, that we need to assess, like, okay, what is it that we need to jumpstart that morale boost to keep our head in the game, to keep ourselves motivated to continue on to do whatever it is that we want to do. But yeah, especially in this day, in this economy, I'm like, apply for what that you can get, and to be diligent about maintaining that ecosystem. And that's not to say that you can't just magically get the job like that. Certainly that can happen with manifesting, but I find that a lot of people right now, and this is me included, I needed to work on the nervous system regulation of knowing that it was possible, for me, and seeing it in my reality. Because generators and manifesting generators, we're a little bit more tactile. We like to see things and results, in real life. And that's what helps us, because we're so somatically inclined. We're so of the physical plane, that it's important for us to see okay, 1 + 2 does equal 3, so to speak. So let me know if that strikes any other questions as I do my little editing here. I can see out of the corner of my eye when I get another comment. So I hope that was helpful. Yeah, how to stay calm in life. I know. Well, and it's also what's your corner of the world, right? Yeah, just if how to stay calm. I think it's a matter of knowing that, it especially now when we're hearing everything that's going on in every corner of the world, good and bad, right? It's not letting yourself get so inundated, and to really like the phrase I say is be where your feet are. So really taking a second to say, when you really are feeling overwhelmed, like what are 5 things that I can see, 4 things that I can touch, 3 things that I can smell. There's a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method to ground yourself. I really recommend using that just to be able to help you think about the things that you can control and not feel like you're constantly falling forward through your day. You want to get to a place where you can figure out how to strategize through life, not feel like you're just reacting to everything, doing things that help you feel like you can get a little bit ahead on what you have to do each day. Yeah, just apply. I had no idea I would thrive beyond my own vision. Yes, so just apply. The universe has a plan. I agree. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, thank you. I guess I took the only two what lights you up too seriously. Well, I agree with that too. Like that was something that in my like beginning of like doing my human design experiment was a struggle for me, because, and as a manifesting generator, I make the joke about this, that, and Darian is a man gen too, that we're the multi-hyphenate, multi-passionate people who are here to do and accomplish many different things. So I thought that meant that I could do like 3 jobs at one time and do all these things simultaneously. But it just means that I cycle things through things more quickly when I lean into something full speed ahead. So like for this part of my life, human design reader, mentor, intuitive, is my title. And I'm leaning into that fully. But there will be other things that I'll be known for over the course of my lifetime. I was in insurance for about 2 years of my life. And then before that, I was in arts and music management. And sometimes I kind of did those things simultaneously to do the thing that lit me up, to be able to put that energy or get that energy back when I was losing it in insurance. Because I didn't go into I didn't graduate from art history school and say, I want to work on cars for a living, but I knew that I needed the life skills to learn, what is it that I can figure out how to do or fund in a way that is going to light me up successfully. I feel like there's a lot of, because of the way that our system is set up, and exchanging time for dollars, especially in a 9-to-5 job, it's not always conducive to doing things that light you up when you're, having to do what you have to do to get your bills paid. But remembering that it's temporary until you get to, flex the muscle of getting to what lights you up is important. Because usually, up until the point that people find human design or human design finds you, however you want to word it, there's an opportunity, there's a lot of burnout there, and a lot of unlearning what other people have taught us was correct. And those can be our parents, our guardians, people that raised us. They mean well, but they may have completely different designs than we do. So, they mean well, but they may operate in a completely different way. I know like my dad grew up very poor in New York. All of my grandparents were in orphanages at one point because their family was so poor. On my grandma and grandpa, both my dad's parents. So, there's a lot of poverty and struggle and, those kinds of things that don't, after three generations is not that, or 2 generations isn't that far, so that's especially like, there's mindsets and things that we often have to unmuck to then be able to feel like we're allowed to experience joy and what lights us up, which takes time. But before you know it, we blink and 2016 is going to be 10 years ago this year. Like I heard that yesterday, I was like, I wanted to throw up, but it's like, we realize how fast, like the days are long, but the years go fast. So to know that when you're always doing something each day that chips away at your goal, the pursuit of your goal and being willing to be a little bit tired in pursuit of knowing what you want to do to light you up is exactly what's going to help you be less tired over time. But a lot of people can be afraid, and I was like this too, at times, to be more tired, adding on the task of doing the hard thing, but it gets easier. It's just about like 2 weeks of me having to like integrate that, and then we get the ball rolling because we're generators and manifesting generators, so we pivot very quickly. Yeah, tracking my emotional wave is changing my life. I'm so glad. Yeah, it's only taken 47 years. Well, you're a young 47. You have many more years to come to live that way. Just keep living, Sue, and get to know yourself. Listen to Brenna. I'm screenshotting that. I love you. Thank you. You're so sweet. But no, I just know from personal experience. Like I'm the type of person that I can't come on the internet and share something that I haven't done or tried in some capacity too. So, I'm not gonna sell you something fake that's behind like a $10,000 paywall, because to me, like, this work is so much more than that. And, a lot of people, especially now in this economy, like, when we're in have an opportunity to be able to help each other, in any way that we can, just to get ahead a little bit in life. Like, especially for me, I'm a Pisces, so I'm like and an Aquarius rising. So like, here for the people that I just want to be able to, live in a world where people at least feel like they have the opportunity to have a fair shot to experience like their joy, and everybody deserves that at some point too. Which is why, like, being able to stand up for what you believe in right now, and to be able to do what you can do within your ability, your energetic ability in your corner of the world, is really important for yourself, for other people. It's like the blooming where you're planted is really important. And I think that now, we can feel pretty scattered in 100 different areas at one time, and where do we start and what do we do? But it's just finding, more introspection, less like trying to take too much in, just little bite-sized pieces at a time, where you can learn something and integrate a little bit, hear something, integrate a little bit. But as generators and manifesting generators, and just really any energy type, it does take us a little bit of time to be able to say, oh, like, sometimes we have to hear things like 3 or 4 times to be able to understand like what's the practical integration of that. So but yeah, let me know if that also struck anything. This is funny. I'll read this to you, Sue, as well. The line that I'm reading, the Definitive Book of Human Design, I have this linked in my last couple, like, more recent videos, but generators often misinterpret or equate waiting to respond with doing nothing. It's impossible for them to do nothing because they are constantly busy generating. If they are doing the work they love, or if they retreat from a dog's growl, or smile when a bird sings, or hum along with a song, or enter a conversation when asked, they are living in response. Generators are designed to wait, trusting that life will come to them. They simply respond from the moment they get out of bed in the morning until they fall back into bed at night. Our evolution of generators living completely through response could change the frequency on the planet from frustration to satisfaction. This is why the generator's mystical path and contribution to humanity is to wake up their sacral, or your gut instinct, your sacral chakra, and to live surrendered to its subjective truth, which I love. I mean, there's so much beauty in that. And oftentimes too, it's like the thing that we stifle the most. I was like, it took me a while to like gain the confidence to be like, I want to do, why would I do human design? Because everybody else is doing it, in my like early 20s. And then you look now and there's still like not that many people doing human design, but I doubted myself, right? But I knew that was what my sacral was responding to. I just didn't have the tools to do it confidently as a full-time profession. And I needed to, that was part of my life's journey and path, is just to teach myself sustainably how to do it. And, here I am almost 10 years later. Excuse me. How old were you when you discovered your design? I was 22. I'm 31 now. I don't know if I think I said that. So I was 22 and I graduated college and I didn't want to get my master's in art history because that's pretty much like the next like path. And so I was like, why did I get this I have this 4-year degree from a good school and I put my time in and I still don't know what I want to do with the rest of my life. And that was really frustrating to say the least. And so I found human design in a podcast and it was around this time, the fall after fall? I know it was like fall or winter. Yeah, because I started my first official job. Like I worked like a local summer job and then February was when I started in arts and music management I graduated the spring of 2016 from college and then the winter of 2017 is when I started my first like big girl job in New York. And yeah, so it's nice because like, I mean, even for a couple years, like I kind of like danced with the idea of human design, but I didn't fully put it into practice because I was still just educating myself about it. Cause I always say that it's like drinking through a fire hose. It's a lot of information to learn. So, and I can recount so much info now because I've studied it for so long, but it does like anything, you know, whenever you have a like this is my hyperfixation. So for me, you know, with anything, it's repetition and practice and nothing beats like actually putting this into practice in your real life, you know, even just asking yourself like the signature and not self theme of like, okay, I'm supposed to feel satisfied. What's going to make me feel the most satisfied in this moment is also something that can be really helpful. Noticing when you're feeling frustrated too. Oh my god. I always hit like this, like a little sleepy around 3 o'clock, so forgive me. I'll probably stay on for a little bit longer. I'm gonna go get some water and I will be right back. Also, what's helpful, excuse me, for those of you who are generators and manifesting generators, is getting out of an all or nothing mentality. So much easier said than done. Like, I'm here, I'm chatting with you guys. I have 5 videos that I want to do for my outlines here. But after doing one outline, I'm ready to pivot onto something different. And instead of making myself feel guilty about the fact that I don't have energy to keep going through those video outlines, because it's taking up, you know, a different part of my brain. I'm like, well, let me go back and do this other work that I have to do, so you can bounce around in between projects, but that are still under the same umbrella for what you have to be productive for, which is, I also wish I knew that sooner, so learn from my mistakes with that. Yeah, I agree. It causes a burnout instead of getting anything done. The pivot is a friend indeed. Yes, thank you. That was beautifully said. It's so true. I know. I feel I definitely had to be, you know, reminded of that very often. Okay, probably stay on for about another half hour or so. Some of my granny's. Oh, happy birthday to your granny! Aw. And she said your mama said it's a new. I love that. I love that. I love the whole matriarchal line and the whole family's involved. That's music to my ears. And I'm sure yours too. It makes it easier for you. That makes so much sense. That's so sweet. You're teaching them. Yeah, absolutely. And nice because you can have more of a conversation with her about it too, which I like. It opens the door for more possibility of that. Aw, sounds good, Darian. Enjoy. Thank you so much. It was so nice to see you. Thank you, thank you. I think my phone, keep checking my battery percentage. I think my phone will last. For, yeah, like 15 minutes. Okay, guys, I'm gonna hop off now. Thank you for joining me this afternoon. It was nice to chat with you guys. I may or may not be back on tomorrow. I kind of do these a little bit sporadically as I'm getting back into the routine of things in the afternoon. But I will be on actually tomorrow night at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time to do live readings. If you are interested in getting a live reading with me, or if you just want to hear me read for other people, have your chart up next to you as you're watching other people be read for, because usually I mention kind of like cross posting. Not cross posting, my brain is in content, cross referencing your chart amongst other people. So thank you guys again for being here. It was nice to connect with you all, and I will see you tomorrow night. Have a good day.